So thrilled to introduce Rashan. So for more than a decade, or sorry, more than 2 decades at this point, Rashan Jones has been a borosilicate flame worker living in Albuquerque, New Mexico. A lifelong passion was found. A lifelong passion was found in spring of 2001 after an apprenticeship opportunity left him hopelessly addicted to molten glass. Inspired by beautiful natural surroundings in Albuquerque, his work truly captures the fire and spirit of the southwestern high desert.
It does.
Organic colors and shapes are distinct characteristics of his natural style. And I will also throw in that Rashan has been a wonderful community member for the glass community, does quite a bit of teaching, is an inspiration to many folks in the glass and flame working communities. I know he is a huge player in his home community with arts programs there, and is a real great ambassador for glass and for flame working. So without further ado, Rashan, take it away, buddy. Thank you.
Now, if you've ever been to my demos, you know that I'm very quiet. I never talk at all, everyone just silence. Alright. Good morning. My name is, what he said, I'm Rashan Jones. I live and work and play in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Like a lot of people, I used to travel a lot more the last few years. It's been really weird. So I've been staying home. I have a studio I just moved. I've got 9 flame workers that work out of my shop. So honestly, if you know anything about like shop management, I don't really blow a whole lot of glasses right now because I'm mostly corralling other glass blowers.
Hang on a second, buddy.
Yeah.
The mic back is there. Here.
Step 1, get the mic right.
Slide that on your front.
Okay, well, I'm just going to go into the pocket. Is that what you got me? Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, let's have some fun. If you've not met me before and you see everyone really excited, I don't know why they're excited to be here, frankly, but I'm happy to see you all. Thanks, Joy. So I give a pretty good demo, I'll say that. Right up front. But the reason why is because I practice at it. It's not like it's like any other skill, you kind of have to practice at it. When I first came into this game, I was a bead maker. I came into 11 doors, my buddy Lewis Wilson held open for me, and if you've never seen Lewis Wilson demo, you're in for a treat. I didn't give an amazing demo, so I learned under some really great people. I mentioned we had another kiddo on the way. I'm honored and really excited to be here. Thank you again, Eric, just on behalf of Gap and General Man for inviting me up. I was bad with my paperwork because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to come. All jokes aside, my wife's a really patient lady, so I try not to test her patience. So I wasn't sure if I could pull it off. And towards the end of last month, we realized that health-wise, it was a safe travel road. So I apologize for not giving you folks samples of what I'm making. I'm just going to make some stuff. It'll be fun. Color I'm starting with is pulled down by Ryan Sullivan, Greasy Glass. This is some of his rose quartz. Admittedly, this is some of the first batch he did, so it's really milky. I really like it. My color palette is kind of tied to where I live at, so I don't often work in colors that I don't see in Albuquerque on a regular basis. So I have a very close personal relationship with my color palette. I see it every day. This is my first time working with gas. Usually when I'm out traveling on the road, I'm working on the capacity with ISGB. It's been really great to me over the years, and so that's how I met all these nice people. Shout out to the ISGB friends. Morning, Michael. Oh, good.
You gotta work for her. Wow.
No, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. So I'm basically making a spiral right now to use for the stem. We're gonna make a little drink set, a nice drinking glass and a matching decanter, and we're gonna cool it down and use it. We're not gonna wake up. It cools it down a little bit and makes that cool noise. So I am working Boro glass. It's my preference. I enjoy working with Boro. I work in a lot of different COEs now. I made jokes like I don't blow glass full time anymore. That wasn't a joke. I actually don't. We spent a lot of time over the last year and a half building this creative arts program. Imagine like a Boys and Girls Club, but less soccer, more paintbrushes, more fusing, things like that, man. So people can come drop their kids off and spend a couple hours with me and work on different projects, things like that. If you're not familiar with Boro, this is going to crack right here. No one freak out. All right. I gotta say that since you don't know me, and that just happened in the demo, you're gonna leave like, oh, he doesn't know me. Look at this guy. How? Both. I've done more fusing in the last 6 months than I have in my entire life. I'm learning a lot about 90 and 104 fusing. And so it's been really, really great to kind of get in there to the lab with the kids and be learning while they're learning. But just because I have more Boro workers, it's easier. We do bead making in Boro, spacers. My assistant, Kale, has a really, really good Boro sculpting program where basically it's like this. We call it breakfast with Kale. So, because that's really his name. And the kids will come in at 9 in the morning and Kale will have them practice with sculpting clay. And make whatever they want out of sculpting clay, and then spend the rest of the week learning how to make that out of glass. You know what I mean? So it really unlocks imagination because we found that if we cook the glass in the kids' hands too quickly, it can be really intimidating. So starting with the sculpting clay, something they're a bit more used to working with, kind of makes it a little easier.
I don't know why these two are troublemakers.
Let me just see who that is. Oh, okay, yeah. There's Giverson and Terry. I don't know why they're heckling me. I don't know why they're doing this. Just kidding. We haven't even begun to heckle me yet. I'm just kidding.
And this is our newbie. This is Cindy. We're trying to acquaint her with you.
Oh, who's new?
Stand up, Cindy.
Cindy, stand up. Nice to meet you. I'm a hugger, so someone give that lady a hug for me. But nice to meet you. I'm thankful to be at the point in my career where I don't really have to bring a lot of stuff. I remember one of my first demos in Tucson when I first started doing this. Just my demo kit was like 2 of the big Rubbermaid tubs. I'm like, oh my god, anything can happen. I don't know what I'm going to bring. I don't know what I need to bring. And now I got like 4 tools in a roll up. We'll figure it out when we get there. I'm thankful to be on that side of things. I do pretty much everything mouth to tube. I don't use a blow hose assembly. I like blow hoses. I own one. They're cool. I just don't. I've been asked many, many times, because I think in some respects it might be a little easier for a few steps, and it's like, well, how come you don't use that? I couldn't afford one when I first started, so I just learned how to do it another way, and I just own that pretty easily. Huh? Oh, which torch?
Yeah.
We're
I was
not
just
there
about to
yet.
ask you that too. Can you tell us about this crazy torch thing?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
That was my question.
First of all, how many knobs are on it?
More than yours. 2, 4, 6, 8. Hold on.
How many?
Yeah, 8. I know, look.
That's new.
I was shocked too when I took it out of the box.
That's new, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not on.
That's okay now. That's what I'm trying to out here. Oh, yeah, that's the this is the largest from the Nortel series of torches. There's a really brilliant engineering mind up there in Toronto. His name is Matty Funk. I've been working on this project with him since 2016. I went up there to teach a class, and he's like, "Yo, man, I made a torch." Now, in my industry, man, everyone makes something. I've worked in homemade kilns. I definitely worked with like hand-pulled homemade color. Matty was the very first person I ever actually knew who was like, "Dude, I built a torch." I'm like, "Wait, what?" So I was up there, because we'll be up there for a week. I had 2 back-to-back classes. And for the first night, you know, I just met this guy. I'm always up for an adventure, so I'm like, well, yeah, man, I'll use your torch. I had my GTT, my Mirage with me at the time, and I ended up not using it because I liked the performance on his torch so much. I was like, I'm just going to teach on your gig. The way it's basically set up is that Nortel switched to a center fire system. So I'm just taking through his paces here. So here's my first flame. It's really, if you're familiar with the industry, it's really close like a Carlisle with a 3-tip in the center. It's a really nice, even flame. This next stage, everyone's actually familiar with because it's the Nortel Miner.
Did you just add 2 more knobs to it?
Yeah.
Okay, 2, 4.
2, 4. So then, each stage is independently controlled, so I can do pre-mix or surface mix, or a mixture of both. So that's the first 2 stages. There's one more knob, which is my premix oxygen. If I did more milli making or marble making, I'd have that one connected. Because of the very thin nature of a lot of my work, it really pushes the walls too heavy for me, so I just don't really use that one. So yeah, this is the Hydra. There's one smaller than this that is called the Medusa, yes.
Yeah.
And then there's one more that's larger called the Hulk. And it has about another 20 points on it, so it's a lot wider.
They all have 8 knobs?
Yeah. It's based on the torch called the Nortel Arrow, and the Arrow is the center fire. The Arrow itself has 5 knobs, so you just add in more for the larger stages. It's like any other torch, man. It takes a while to get used to. My biggest concern when I first started working with it was it going to feel intuitive for me, because I don't want to get lost on my torch. You know what I mean? Like, oh, where's that flame setting I really need? But I've been pleasantly surprised and happy the last few years, man. So I'm pretty excited. Yeah. I did not bring my foot pedal. Most of the time, I'm fine with it, but you can absolutely put the foot pedal up to this. When I do, I want to put pedal to my outer cage. All right, let's get some work done. So the piece I already did, it's in there now, hanging out, will end up being the decanter. I'm going to go into the cup now, because I timed this pretty tight. And if I run out of time, I still want to at least be like, I don't want to have half a decanter and half a cup. That's boring. So we're going to finish the cup and then we'll move into everything. I don't just live in Albuquerque, like I love it there. I've had plenty of opportunities to move over the years, and I keep returning back to Albuquerque for its sunsets and because it's a really beautiful place to work. I like the people. That dude over there in the white sweatshirt, that's Troy. He used to work out of my shop and was on the apprentice squad for a long time and then moved to Tacoma. So when I found out I was coming up here, I called him right away like, bro, where do you live again? He's like, 0.8 miles from everything you need to do. So thanks, Troy. All right, so liking the feel of this. Mike Mason, of all the demos I've done, man, the one that you got with the wine glass
Yeah, yeah.
is for sure my most asked about now.
Oh, word.
Yeah, man, and it was easy because it was you, man, so I wasn't like a demo, I was just like talking to you, so I watched it and I was like, sound crazy halfway through this. I need to work on it.
Yeah. When I show up with a beer, you gotta remember to drink it after the demo.
Yeah, no, I just start rambling, I mean, it's you, so I'm like, oh, wait, other people besides Mike are gonna see this.
Yeah. No, it was a good time, man. I think people enjoy that, you know, they know it's not a class. They get to know who you are and that warmth you bring. So to me, I thought it was great, and I didn't think it misrepresented you or made you look bad at all.
No, absolutely. It's really me. That's the whole problem. I think too much meat.
Yeah. No,
either way.
even that gets me sometimes. Like, Marshall was on one last night.
The Volio structure build. I've been doing this forever. The first thing I wanted to make when I got into this was wine glasses. And so I'm very, very thankful to kind of stay on that path. All right, we're ready to cut this. Believe it or not, with cup making, everything really goes pretty quickly. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really have a slow way to do this because of how fast I have to spin it. Once we get this taken off, we kind of start flying through it. It's been a really, really, really crazy week. In my other life, back home, we turned in a 2-liter absinthe fountain with matching cups later on tonight. There's this really, really, really nice higher-end restaurant that's having an event tomorrow. And the chef I know really well, he knows my schedule. And so he was calling me all week long. He's like, do we have time for this? I'm like, yeah, man. Like, I'm just going to take off and not finish your thing. So I took off and I didn't finish this thing, but my guys got it. Power of teamwork. They're busy saying things to me like, if you want it done, you should have done it before you left. I was like, but then what would you guys do? And I gotta like find other stuff for y'all to do. So my job at my studio is to collect rent from the guys. And to do that, I spend the better part of every month trying to find group projects we can all work on together. Because like, they're my friends. Like, I don't want to charge them money, but like, bills gotta get paid. So once a month we try to find like one larger project we can all work on that covers the rent of the building, and then we go back and pay it out.
Do you talk about that, Rashan, opening the hole?
What's that?
Do you talk about opening the hole?
Yeah, absolutely. Here's the deal. When you're making when you're doing any cup making, your lip always has to be the hottest part because it has to move the furthest. So you want to make sure that you have a really, really hot lip, and then slowly add that heat gradient back in towards the emulsion.
And opening it up, you would use what's called flame cutting when you call it that?
So yeah, I don't do a true flame cut though because I don't, I physically close the tube. It's like I close the tube down and then let gravity kind of pop it back out. I fight constantly with one of my mentors about this, man. Like I said, I always wanted to make cups, and I was self-taught for a number of years. And then maybe 10 years ago, Roger Fairmore was looking for a studio to work in on his way to California from North Carolina. And I met Roger a couple times just like at deals and things. And so for me, I'm totally like fanboying. Like, oh my gosh, one of the greatest cup makers in the country is going to come through. So yeah, man, he came through and kind of fixed some of the issues I was having basically. And yeah, because of that, I'm a better cup maker now. And so that was one of the things he taught me, was just the part that's going to move the furthest, you have to have the hops. Yo, I have like 7 minutes to finish this part by timing. We're gonna make it, don't worry. So, because I don't do a true flame pop or a true flame cut, when you're flame cutting, you'll pop into it and use the heat and pressure from your torch to actually physically tear that wall open. I'm closing it down and then reopening it. Yeah, I am. I've been told over and over that there's too many variables in the way that I do it, but I mean, I can mimic results really quickly, so I don't really worry about it.
I think there's more control because you don't get those threads.
Exactly.
That burn back.
Well, and because invariably, when I flame cut, I always get a little bled. And sometimes only I can see it in my mind's eye, but I know it's there. And it bothers me. So, develop a system that works for me where I don't have to deal with that.
I just saw the movie in there about the heat camera, and they showed a flame cutting on a lathe, which is the most accurate flame cutting you could probably do.
Yeah.
And there were 3 of those threads hanging on.
Hate it.
I know.
I hate it. Like, I love the process, but I hate those gloves so much.
I know.
Like I have shears. I believe in them when I need them. But my whole goal is not to really use them a whole lot. Whereas a lot of people build it into their process. Like, this is where I do the trim. And I just don't. I just...
So the less tools, the better.
Yeah. And honestly, you know, it's, again, it does add in more variables doing it this way, but I developed a system that works well for my hands, that works well for my mind, that I can mimic. It's like over and over. And so on a good day, I'm a production cup maker, so I'll make like, you know, 20, 25 pieces. Come in the next day, make the cups, and then bother my guys like, what do you guys got laying around for stems? Give me some stems. That's right, you don't really like that pendant. Give me that. Stem. I'm tyrannic in my studio. So I had 2 studios for like almost the last year, and we closed one of them about a month ago. It was bittersweet. I've had my little 600 square foot box for like 8 or 9 years. It's right in the tourist district. Again, shouts out to everyone in the ISTV that's been inside the box and hung out and blown the glass. We hosted really big events there, and it was always enough for me. And so when we got ready to move, my goal was to get rid of all my flame workers and send them across town so I could finally have a moment to breathe in my studio. You know what I mean? Keep these guys out of here. And so I moved them out back in December. And it was really, really great for my ego for a long time to be like, oh, you want to meet at my studio? Which one? You know, fancy. And so then we closed it, and then my wife sent me a spreadsheet about how much money we were saving, and I was like, I can't believe you stayed with me. You were hemorrhaging money. This is terrible. So that said, now we're all together. So I built this studio, I wasn't there, and so the guys have their own culture, you know, like when they take the trash out, how they split pizzas, like everything else. And so I'm in there currently disrupting the system now. And they like can't tell me no, so look at me, I didn't do it. But yeah, man, I realized that last week when even like, we had to change the number of people, like they got the regular order at Domino's, they just placed their order, and I'm like, oh no, that's terrible, I don't even like green peppers, and add this and that. And I was like, oh, I'm making your life harder. Well, we gotta get along. Alright. The reason why I'm doing another one is because things break, particularly in public, and I have the time, so I can kind of show you this twice. The way we have this set up, here's your bolio component, here's your nice round puffed out bubble. As far as shapes, I spin mine out from a squatty onion shape. There's also a garlic and there's also a football, so all different ways to kind of spin out a foot. I I picked the food that most appeals to me. I like that food. So right now it's all about holding my hand in the exact same place. The center fire part of this torch, hopefully, in a perfect world, never wavers. It stays within the same like millimeter and a half. And then when I get ready to start separating it, it's got a true thin spot. And again, so that's a closed bubble. What we'll do now is come back to a wider, broader flame and run it right along the top. Heat rises, starts to pressurize that out, and starts to puff it out. And then all I have to do is come back here, collect that glass. That means less lead. At first it was annoying, so it's like, well, what if I need two? I do a lot more of them. But I learned this when I was making single cups. So it's like, well, what if I need a max set? And now I can eye and measure how much I need. This is a graphite rod. I'm like the weirdo, man. I don't use jacks, I don't use diamond shears. Like I didn't in the beginning, and so then, like I said, man, when I started taking more and more classes, probably why I only learned under Roger, because everyone else uses. He just does it, man. He uses graphite rods, and it works really, really well. Dig in how this one's opening. There we go. In a perfect world, I really just use this to guide. I used to have a whole system where I arc it up with this. Now I can just touch that lip once to get it out, and then use gravity to spin the rest all the way out.
Are you just making sure that the lip has a rounded, gathered edge?
Yeah. For this particular cup, I'm intentionally leaving it thicker and a little bit taller, probably about 2 or 3 millimeters taller off the flat, and that's just sort of set up a little higher. Now we're going to make the cup itself. We'll do the decanter now. All right. So the decanter is a big bubble. Cannot just get a big piece of glass hot and pop into it. It's not how glass works. So it's going to be a series of smaller bubbles. You're going to see me blow 4 or 5 small ripple bubbles out of one big bubble. There's a couple different ways I can do this. I'll tell you, I really rely on the size of my body to get this done. I just have broad shoulders, like a wide wingspan, so this should work a little easier. I say should, again, because this is my first day. So it works. If you come close enough, you can smell my hand spin. Nah, these are new pants, man. I like my work pants. I usually wear like my khakis and all. I said, you should wear some nicer pants. And I'm like, there's something more fire in this. I mean, I'm not kidding, Mike. You'll get a call here in a minute.
Oh, I know what you mean.
I was not kidding.
Yeah, man.
My pants, yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Just that light smell of burning cotton. Don't worry.
Yeah. I'm into like the point where like I'm like, okay, those are those new pants from TJ Maxx. Oh, that's that Ross smell. That's that Ross. I've had it happen so many times, man. The other one is when I do my laundry at a laundromat now. I can smell the difference in the laundromats when my clothes start to get hot.
For sure.
Yep.
Sure. What is this? 4th Street? Oh, it is.
No joke, yeah.
You're in Colorado now, yeah?
Yeah, man.
You loving it?
I love it. Yeah, it's the best. I've never been happier in a place.
That's good.
Yeah.
I want to hear from your friends, man. You're like,
Right.
yes, I've never been happier.
Yeah. It took a minute to get where I needed to be out there. Now I'm in Colorado Springs and really loving it there. It was a little bit of a rocky start when I got there, but that's, you know, another story for another time. But
We'll go.
it happens. Yeah, everything's good out there. I like the studio I work at. It's cool.
So now we have those micro bubbles puffed out. We're going to slowly add heat. Turn this into a big ball. So I'm going to add heat to the bottom, put a nice thick base, and we'll start to cascade down, and we'll go off that bubble. This is going to be a 375 milliliter volcano. It's going to hold about a half bottle of wine. I know it's going to hold a half bottle of wine because I spent a lot of time with bottles of wine. You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, that looks about right. How come you're not going to make a full decanter? My wife gets mad if I drink a full bottle. Now, 2 half bottles somehow is fine. I don't know how that works, but she's a complicated woman. Karen was thinking about coming, and she's like, are you doing that thing like during the demo where you just like make fun of me for like an hour? Like, that's for sure. She's like, I'm not going. I'm like, honey, that's why I go to my comfort zone. Pass that down a little bit and change the shoulder. We're there. Yes. It's 44 by 4 when I started, and I'm doing my best to keep the wall thickness probably about 3 millimeter. I want it to have that like nice, when you touch it, the cling versus the clank. You know it's too thick. Like, oh, I hate that.
How does it go again, man?
The cling versus the clunk. You know what I mean? I think that's it. Let's see. So when I'm not working on my stand-up comedy, this is all this is, so thanks for joining me. I mostly make beer glasses now as my production line. I was really grateful probably about 5 or 6 years ago, a local brewery took a liking to my style, and they're like, hey, you got cups? I was like, absolutely. I was like, we got beer. I was like, I feel like we got something there. We can do something with that. So it's called a Boxing Bear Brewery. About a year and a half ago, they came down to the studio, and they're like, tell us about the kind of beers you guys like to drink. And so we started talking about it, and I thought it was just like a general question, and at the end they pitched me, and they're like, hey man, so like we want to do a collaboration beer with you. It was called Just Joneses, because I'm Jones, the other brewer is Justin. Just Joneses, we're very clever. So we got together on that project, and it was a lot of fun. I don't know, we sold like 500 cases of beer, kept the city stock. It was super awesome, but it was short-lived. I didn't realize how much beer my friends drank. So we have another one coming out in like a week and a half. If you were in the initial buy-in for the other one and didn't get your complete package, don't worry, we're sending you a case. You Mike, a case.
I wasn't gonna say nothing.
No, dude, I was. That's why I said it. Like, yeah, man. So that's the only way to kind of make that one right. But the fact is, man, it was they had some issues with shipping beer on their liquor license, so I was shipping it myself, and now we've solved these problems. But anyways, it's a mango lime sour. It's gonna be delicious, and that drops on June 10. So I'm doing a gas demo, and then I'm birthing a beer, and then a baby. It's gonna be a wild month. A lot of making stuff going on. Again, I don't have to make the beer or the baby, so I'm really just talking. You know what I mean? On most of these projects, I'm just the face. You know what I mean? Like,
It's gonna look just like you.
what? Okay, so like I don't. Okay, no.
I like that you're saying with the script.
Huh?
I like that you're saying with the script.
Oh yeah, well, you gotta see on script. You gotta see on script, man. You can't just go around improvising and whatnot, I purposely am using this set's going to be 90% clear, mostly because my friend Roger told me I had to, and there's nowhere to really hide in clear, so I like working in clear. I've worked really hard over the years to develop a skill set that I'm comfortable with, so I will show you. What you're seeing is a course correction because I forgot to pull down the pink I needed to do the lip wrap on top of the decanter. So I had to stop in the middle and set it down and hopefully not light Mike on fire. You good? Okay.
Yeah, man. I'm on fire all the time.
Right, no, Mike is down to sacrifice for his art. So I want my lip wrap to be about 3 millimeters. Matches the wall thickness, so then when I get ready to add it to the top, it's going to all thicken to the same wall thickness. For me, things crack when they're inconsistent, and so I try and have the same wall thicknesses, not a lot of thick to thin transitions, etc., etc. So we're going to add heat right underneath the shoulder where it starts to expand, where we know exactly how thick it is because it's still factory set. So I'm going to between like 4 and 5. I can't remember if this is, I don't remember, I looked at this as 4 or 5. I think this is 4 mil. Heat rises even through a solid mass, so I'm not here, I'm here. So I want that taper to come up out from the bottom and look nice and relaxing, nice and sexy and pull right up. First decanter I brought home was probably like maybe 5 years ago. And my wife got much of that immediately went out to the front yard and cut roses and put it in it. Now I was taking a shower, I came back down and I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, this is a lovely vase. I'm like, put those flowers out there and put some liquor in there immediately. What are you doing? We got Tupperware we can put flowers in. Come on. We still have mason jars from our wedding. What are we doing here, man? We got, you know? So we have a program in Albuquerque for Wednesdays and Thursdays. I work hands-on in a local middle school, putting 7th and 8th graders on the torch. And people ask me all the time, like, you know, why I prefer working with kids. Because one, because they're fearless, and two, because they listen. Well, we've had that program going for about 15 years in Albuquerque. It started off as a demo program, which means that the kids will get like a history and glass lesson for a week from the art teacher, and then draw something, and me and my guys will come in and flip through and make like the drawing to make the most sense during the demo. And like sometimes we have a lot of, it used to be like regular stuff, like, Mr. Jones, can you make a dolphin? Or, hey, can you make my dog? But now after 15 years, it's like the little brothers and sisters of the kids that used to be in the program. So it's like a big game of Stump the Glass Blower. So it's like, can you make a monkey riding a rocket ship holding a goldfish? I'm like, I'm not gonna tell an 8-year-old no, so I'm like, guess what we're making today, guys?
Did you redo that to the Pop Center?
And like, honestly, I don't know, like, it felt good, but not like great. You know what I mean? Like, I just looking at it, it was gonna bother me. So while I had the time, I figured I'd go ahead and do it. I have a, oh, doing great on time, y'all. In case you're wondering. Hey, man, are you with Torch Talk?
No, I'm with Glass Art Society.
No, I'm sorry, only Torch Talk stuff.
No.
Excuse me, I'm Rashan. What's your name?
I'm Brent.
Nice to meet you, Brent.
Nice to meet you.
Wait, I'm an exclusive writer with Torch Talk.
It's my territory, dog.
You're going to clear all this footage through my face.
Yeah.
All right, your dad's, okay, just this one.
Yeah. My people will be in contact with your people.
That's all I'm asking, man.
Yeah.
Have your people get at my people.
Yeah.
Troy! Yeah, my people's right there. We're good. Going back to my origins, you know, my very first, like, real public outing was at one of the Sonoran flame-offs down in Tucson, maybe 18 years ago. I had no business entering this competition, but it seemed like a good idea at the time. And what ends up happening is flame working and flame working demoing are two different things. I have really, really talented artisans in my shop that like for sure should not be around cameras and people when they work. Now you'll love their work, it's amazing, but like you kind of got to have a knack ability to kind of talk through it and just give a good demo. And so once I realized that like I really, really love glass and I can be chatty, oh, I'm never leaving this stuff. There's people in the room who like remember me from some of my first shows. I used to see one of the first people I like met in the glass world at all, man, out in Tucson. And even she's thinking to herself right now, like, who is Chad? I haven't seen her in years, so she might have forgotten. Nope, I'm still chatty. So. All right. I'm gonna put this in here. No one come trying to put flowers in. All right, let's have some fun. So for me, all the harder work is kind of done. Now I just get to relax and make a really, really fun cup shape that I enjoy. And then we'll do some attachments. I'm super excited. But nothing blew up yet. There's still time, but. But that's for sure one of the downsides of working in my studio is that it's such a pressure cooker because between like donors and kids and parents picking up work, like, you know, there's always someone new in the studio. Which is great for me because I like people, but if you're in the middle of trying to learn like a new process, it can be rather daunting. So now we have a whole new reception area.
All right, all right. Will we see a return of Boot Camp Jones?
You will, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
Boot Camp Jones is an alter ego of mine that I developed. And I was just messing around, like generating some content online. And it's basically me like yelling at this student, like, "Drop it, give me 20. He makes something like pick it up, throw it on the floor. This is trash. And what I don't realize though is that like, not everyone can see the gleam in my eye when I'm doing it. And so I for real had a guy, his name is Alan, he works out of my studio now, and he moved down from Florida. And he was like really concerned because he thought I was really like that. I'm like, no. I'm only like that from that guy. Like for the record, the guy I'm yelling at is my original teacher, Brian, so it's like a fun little joke for us, but I don't realize how it is perceived. And so people are for real like, is he really like that? And real heads are like, oh, absolutely.
You're either a good actor or you really enjoy it.
Right.
Or both.
I got this guy like pulling stringers and doing push-ups. It was great. But I gotta find that. That was a really good video.
Yeah.
I know right where that is. I'm gonna have to pull that back out.
Excellent.
But yeah, man, I spend so much time instructing now that like people are like, so what do you make? Other glass blowers.
Yeah.
I try. But no, so being from Albuquerque, Mexico, super close to the Mexico border. When I was younger, my uncle coached football in the city of El Paso, Texas, which is a border crossing city right outside Juarez. And so this is, of course, like before like cell phones or any of that, man. It's like my grandmother would go down there with me. It's like a 15-minute flight on Southwest. We'd fly in, watch the football game on Friday night. And then Grandma always wanted to go eat tacos across the border, and we would sit at this glass factory outside of Mercado for hours. And like, it's not something I like thought about where it's like, I want to make my grandma proud. It wasn't like that at all. It was more just, I've been blowing glass for a few years, and someone asked me what my first experience with glass was, and I was like, oh, actually, like since I was like 8, 9, and 10, I would just go down and watch it. It was just something I was just always really into. It's like, you know, when you go to like your favorite Mexican restaurant, they have like the really, really thick, like bubbly like margarita glasses. Like they usually like have like a cobalt like lip wrap on them or green. Yeah, I love that. I grew up watching that. So now I have an opportunity where I can just kind of make stuff like that all day long. It makes me very happy. It was like a catch-22 because this was too short. So I didn't want to not use it, but that big piece had gotten hot in the flame, you know what I mean? So it's just hanging out hot. So I was like, well, we'll just use it. All right, so. Let that out. So now this will be the cup. We're just getting ready to round out the bottom. It's basically 3 steps. We're gonna pump out the bottom, set the lip, elongate the middle, call it a day. I mean, I still got stuff I gotta make, but on this project. Eric was right there, like, being able to meet him, like, after, like, we've interacted so much for various things, man, and, like, to finally be able to meet him in person is great. We're both cup makers, so we, like, there's something wrong with both of us, right? Because we both choose to make cups. I don't know why, like, it's such a labor of love, but, like, at this point, you just have to really, really like cup making to do it, because it doesn't really make a lot of sense, you know what I mean, but I just can't stop making it, man, I know.
You don't do it to make money.
No. There's actually a meme this dude, Lazy can go for me, where it's like, I want to learn how to make money off a cup. Let me stop you right there. You better really, really like this job, because this is not, Looking out audience, I see people who own some of my cups. Thank you again very much, guys. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Where do you sell your stuff?
Direct answer is right now, I do like 2 local markets, and we just had people just come by the shop. I've been so swamped. I took down most of my online shops. All we did was move. Don't worry, they'll be back up before Father's Day. We got some lovely whiskey guns. But yeah, I mean, I'm a creature of habit, so I even still list stuff on like Etsy and eBay sometimes. But we actually have the hydraulic framework site now, and so we'll have that up and going here in the next few weeks. The easiest way to do it though right now is like if you're on like my Instagram page, you see something you like, but you're like, oh, I love that, but I wish it was yellow. Just message me. We'll make it yellow.
You hit delete?
Huh?
You hit delete?
Yeah. Actually, there's only 1 cup. The rest is all just Photoshop cups. You know what I mean? All right, got our bolio set there. Bring a little rays of sunshine everywhere I go. We have extra sun in Albuquerque. We have like 325 days of sun there. That's the exact opposite of here. So I tried to bring some with me, and it did not work. So, it's a little lighter, I guess, man. You're welcome. That's what I'm talking about.
At least in the
Just a nice, narrow white wine glass. I drink a lot of white wine. name is Kale, and he makes a lot of tops now. So if I need one on the fly, I'll just take one off the desk kind of thing. He's got a good relationship. As I was leaving, he's like, so what are you gonna do if you have to make your own cups? I was like, I got 2 ones in my 11 Pro, so.
I was surprised how much it cleaned up, but it did look like it was bucking on you a little.
Yeah, right. And mostly I know why I messed up. Here, I'll tell you. I overblew the bottom and didn't add enough mass. It just wasn't a big enough point. And I'd rather, like, I could sit here and fake it and make it look good, but, like, I got like a half hour left. I'm just going to redo it real quick. So.
Cool.
The choice of being a hypercritical cup maker. Nothing I make is good enough. Mostly because I had the time, and I was sitting there looking at it, and I'm like, why fight this out hard?
Yeah. You ever seen Kevin Beecher's Drunken Goblets? Those are fun for, you know, he says he almost has to like purposely fuck them up now because he's such a machine, but...
Right, man, I have to go back and like add them in.
Yeah. But I think that's a fun way of utilizing those ones that didn't hit just right.
Not only. I was worried I wasn't going to use all of my time. I'm going to use it all.
Yeah.
All right, so going right back to the top. We'll go a little bigger this time. That fine line between being a perfectionist and also being efficient. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do know what you mean, man. That can be a really hard decision.
Yeah, no, it was. Like, I was like, if I were at my desk, I probably would just wrestle that out, man. Like,
right.
Eric was kind and rustled up this whole stick of 44. We could use some of it.
Yeah.
Thank you to ABR Imagery.
Shout out to Ross at ABR. God bless him. God bless him. Yeah, I met Ross literally my first day in the industry. He did not know me. He turned to me and was like, hey man, want to help us move a lathe? I didn't know what a lathe was. I didn't know about it. I'm like, yeah man, like, you're in my city, I can be helpful. It was heavy. tradition in glass. A lot of it is due to Lewis Wilson living there, and so that really helped. He took a lot of us under his wing like 20 years ago, and basically sent us to like all different corners of glass. Like, you be a bead maker, you make cups, you make pipes, and we just listen. All right.
Fight Club with Lewis Wilson.
All right, man. That feels a lot. If you make the wine glass big enough to hold a half bottle of wine, yeah, that's what, yeah, you just fill it and put the rest of it in the can. There we go. Hi, honey. Okay, thank you. You good? Okay. Sorry. Like every phone call is like, you know what I mean? Oh my God, it's me? No?
Yeah.
For a second, I was like, I'm not gonna answer that. She knows I'm working. And I'm like, oh, she knows I'm working. Wait, is everything okay? And if I had to answer, I'd be distracted the whole time. So thank you for bearing with me on that.
He's okay?
She's like, I just want to wish you luck and have a great time. And I'm like, no, I'm doing it. Don't
Sweet though.
Oh, yeah. My wife is a brilliant attorney and absolutely absent-minded as far as my schedule is concerned. That's how our whole life works. She does whatever it is that she does at work, and I just hang out with her, relax, or most relax. So yeah, I'm very thankful to kind of have the partner I have and the system that we live in works really well. flames close and then reopen up here, and we'll start getting into some assembly.
I like that, flame close. Because it's stretching it a lot.
Right.
How do you avoid it opening?
Y'all are right on time. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Everyone hold it. No one get excited yet? No one get excited? Okay, now. And like I said, man, like, if I need to, at this moment, I'll come across and do a cut. But if I don't have to, I don't want to. I just don't.
How do you keep the flame from opening it up though?
Just moving it further back. Because what I'm dealing with is, like, this is the center fire. What I'm trying to do is catch that on the lip and cup the inside and force it out. Remember that time we were at gas and we didn't use the shears just so we didn't want to? We had the shears. We talked about them at length, but
it really was a demo on these.
things people ask me as a cut maker. If there was any one great set of claws and grabbers, we'd all have them by now. We all, like, if there was one perfect set, I use the ones that I use. I've tried over the years many different sets. I started out with like the economy ones from like ABR back in the days. I transitioned out of some pipe making and stuff. And I finally, it was maybe like 10 years ago, I was like, I need some like grown man tools. You know what I mean? Like these are great, they're working for me, but I need some really nice grabbers. So I switched to the Herbert Arnolds. They're inside out. Those work really well. So I had a chance maybe a year and a half ago. I was teaching at Andy Pollock's place in New Orleans. There was cup making. Some guys had come in who had never made cups before, and like one had bought the Griffin grabbers, and one had bought Matt S cookies. So I couldn't afford either of these, so I was very impressed. I was like, hey boys, let me see those. So I ended up trying them both out and kind of figuring out which one I like best. I've known Scott Griffin for years and years. He puts out really great tools. So whenever people ask me, I use Scott's. They have a counterbalance, so I counterbalance one side, don't on the other when I'm traveling. I can pretty much get anything assembled. And yeah, as a cut maker, I've been required to talk about my grabbers just in the handbook. So, Eric, what grabbers do you use?
For the most part, some old ones that I got from Carlisle that I put new, or sorry, from Whale that I put new handles on. Yeah, should just get used to them.
Yep. Dude, Carlisle has some really great ones out right now. They're a little heavy, and they're not quite long enough for what I need, but like, I use those too, man. Like, I'll pretty much try anything. Like, you got new grabbers? Cool, I'll take two. Let's try it.
Kind of adapt to them. I use them there from L&K. I don't even know if they make tools anymore, but they're kind of extension of my mind, you know?
Yeah, no, the only reason why, like, I think I know what grabbers you're talking about, but and I don't think they make them anymore.
Right.
If you ever use those, you know.
Outside and inside out.
Yeah.
You know?
Grabbers is sort of something you build a relationship with.
Yeah. Yep.
To learn to trust them.
Exactly, and you know, that's why I say, like, everyone has their own preferences for their hands, so that's why they're like, people ask me all the time, like, what's like the best set? I don't know, whatever set you use to put together straight goblets, you know what I mean? Like, that's a you thing. First time I had Roger in my studio, and he pulled out his grabbers, I expected him to like sing, like angels, like, ah! You're not different, just cricket flying too, so I don't know what you do with them. For better or worse, you know, everyone has like that like voice in their head. The voice in my head sounds like Roger Paramore after a long day. It's very, very crazy. So.
Will that lip wrap strike out, or?
Yeah, I'll go a little darker. Not too much though.
Okay, it was just kind of subtle.
Yep.
Can't stop us.
Oh, that's right. I didn't, but thank you for the heads up. Going like a blow in the tire shop. No. Where it is. Put all the work in the tool I'm using. Like, I just can't even imagine being like, I feel bad even like joking about it. You all gotta get along. What is it called? Are you still heckling me over there, Martha? How long has it been? I haven't seen you in like 2 years.
4. Nobody's seen anybody in 2 years.
That's why I'm like this. I need to get around more of my bead ladies so they can check me, man. My attitude is everywhere right now.
You know why we're here.
I know. Did you drink with me last night? You're curious if I was going to show up? You're like, oh, when I last saw him, he had 3 margaritas. Like, I'm thankful for my buddy Troy, other stuff from Albuquerque. I didn't really feel like myself until I bumped into you ladies last night at the lobby bar. I'm like, something's wrong. Like, what's going on? Oh, no one has made fun of me for 5 minutes. What's wrong with you ladies?
What's going on with this blade now?
Huh? There we go. Well, this one's kind of tricky. I've been going through it today, y'all. Oh, anyway.
2 for 1.
In a perfect time set, I can make 2 glasses in a decanter in a couple hours. You know what I mean? Like, I try to get to like maybe if I'm doing these, I'll do like sets for like a week, so I'll do like 2 or 3 a day, and then not do them for a while.
Where are you coming on?
Y'all can join me anytime too, man. We got streaming now. We're
Do you
fancy.
work through set, or do you cups all day and?
Excellent question. I do it in pieces. So like, I'll come in, if I need to do sets, first thing I'm gonna do is feed. I enjoy the feeling. I really enjoy making them. And so, but if it's going well, I'll just stay in that groove and I'll just make feed all day. And I'll have like, I've never had too many. I might have like 20 or 30 in the stash, but like, they're all gonna get used eventually. So that works out. So I'll do the feed, and then I'll do the decanters, and then I'll do the cups themselves. Saying me pretty loosely. Kale will do the cups, and then I'll come in and assemble them later. Alright, we're ready to go into final assembly here, and I have this coffee next to me, and so I don't drink coffee. I really only drink tea a couple times a week. I still drink some black tea. I started drinking coffee because who drinks coffee? I didn't know how it worked. So like for the last 5 years, every day at like 3 o'clock, I feel terrible. Terrible. Like I'm not gonna make it through the day. I need a nap every day. And I was like, oh, that's why people drink coffee. I get it now. I was 46 years old when I found out how coffee works. So. And I don't even know if this is really coffee. This is more like a melted ice cream sundae kind of situation. But it's doing its job. You know what I mean? I didn't want to drink it too soon, so I get all jittery. Can you imagine me if I drank this whole thing? Like I'm already chatty. So I had to wait till the end. Again, as you've been paying attention at all, I'm from the desert. Well, I'm from San Diego originally. I lived in Albuquerque for like 30 years now. I don't know if you know, Albuquerque and New Mexico is just completely landlocked. If you live in this part of the country and you know where like the best seafood restaurants are in this city, talk to me afterwards because I've done nothing but eat seafood since I've been here. Ask Troy. Except for this McDonald's this morning, we've done nothing but eat seafood since I got here. And I hopped off the plane, I'm like, where do you eat seafood at? He's like, I'm 23, I got a roommate in Charlotte. I'm over here treating it like it's pop. It's like, we're gonna eat good tonight, son, let's go. So we hit a couple spots, man, but if you're from here and you know where some good seafood is, please get with me after the program. I would like to know where to go for tonight.
The koi.
The koi? Alright, so that's the spot next to the bar. Like, that's it. Troy, we're eating sushi tonight, Chief. Make reservations? Thank you. I can't just like show up with my gas t-shirt like, what's up? It's me, no? Alright.
We had to make reservations to get 5 o'clock.
If you want sushi, the koi is the spot.
Like, I mean, it's like this. The question is, not do I like sushi, but do I want to ruin sushi for like the rest of my life? Because after this, I still got to go back to Albuquerque. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, you can.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh. Everything looks straight when it's right here. You got to pull away far out. Hi, Jared. Somebody last night was like, did I recognize Jared without her glasses? I didn't. Hi, Jared. I was like, who's next to Katie? Oh, Jared. Hi. Let's see if we line this up. And hold on, we got the other thing.
Wait, there's more.
Well, wait. Hey. You gotta wait for me to actually drop it. There we go. Yeah, man, hey, thank you all very much for coming and hanging out. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know. If you're not there, you come by. All right.